Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned About Plays. Ace Attorney Trilogy, episode 54, I think. We are still smack dab in the middle of this trial. So let's keep it going. Definitely have a problem here. We're still ascertaining how... Okay, so we ascertained that, like, Acro dropped the bust from the window and, like, knew where the dude was going to stand, because, like, he put the box in a specific position, and it was, like, a specific size, so, like, he had to, like, pick it up a certain way, because I guess it was meant to be picked up. I didn't know it was meant to be picked up, but I guess it was meant to be picked up. And then... So now we're trying to figure out how he could have gotten the bust in the first place, since it was originally in the cafeteria. And I just tried to use Regina as evidence, and that didn't work, so now I gotta do something else. How did the witness get the bus from the cafeteria back to his room? It's too heavy. Freaking monkey can't carry that. Like, yes, it's shiny and everything, but he can't... I mean, he carried a fucking tuba. This is what I don't understand about this monkey. How big is this monkey? Really? Well, chimpanzees have the strength of 10 men, sure, but, like, are you sure? Like, really, though? I didn't know that was literally a thing. So, hold on. My nose itches really badly right now. You ever get, like, that one mustache hair that just wants to curl up in there and take a nap? Yeah, it's a problem. Alright. A monkey? Everyone knows money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist ring. So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record. Damn. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Ah! Acro! Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order! Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron! Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Oh, don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ah. There's no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now. Oh, here comes another pivotal moment. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Barry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this, and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? Again, how big is this monkey? What is this supposed to mean? Yes, what is that supposed to mean? Do you mind explaining that to me as well? Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it! Yes, there were two people. One was the victim, and the other was the murderer himself. Exactly. So who was this? We're already saying it wasn't Acro. Ooh, what if it was bad? He's still in a coma. But he's, like, not in a coma. Dude. I don't know. Was it... Russell? Nope, okay. Sorry, I gotta flat out 100% guess this. Maybe it actually was Max Galactica. But that would have been something he would have mentioned, I think. He never said that, like, he actually went to go meet them. Was it Regina? Of course not. Whatever, man. Alright, it wasn't Max either. Okay, fine. Hey man, I was just trying to, like, get it going. What if it was bad? No. Okay, well you could have made it super, like, you know, plot twisty with that one. They're like, oh, he came out of his coma yesterday. And the first thing he wanted was revenge. I mean, you know, would have been pretty soap opera-y, but, like, you know, still good. Obviously it was the Lion dressed up as Max Galactica. I don't know why we're not, like, just all over that instantly, regardless. Oh, God. I'm running out of people. If I was gonna guess, you would think that I would get it on the first couple tries. Who was the murderer the clown saw? I didn't think. I'm just going home my options here. It wasn't the damn monkey. I already tried that. It wasn't Russell Berry himself, it wasn't Mo, it wasn't Acro, it wasn't Bat. We've tried everybody here except Ben. Dude! Who was the murderer? Ooh, what if it was the bust? He saw Max's Ow! I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. Damn. How is that possible? It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust.
What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak.
There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off of the cards in the bust's hands.
Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust?
It doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
Oh, he caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Well, would it just be Acro then? Like he draped it over the thing before he dropped it? Who put the cloak on the bus? Well, that would be Acro.
I wonder, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Didn't the defendant wear his cloak the entire time he was at practice? So then how did this person get a hold of the cloak?
Well, that answers that question. Shit. I don't understand anymore.
Fool! Him?
You are saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the victim himself placed the cloak on the bust?
Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself! Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this?
I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I could paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, if you're being summoned by a murderer, you don't want to, like you would want to go in disguise. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim,
You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be.
It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out of his window, so he just kept pulling the bust up. Dude, that's fucking insane. And that is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you! Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So? What now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Evidence? In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my whip. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Nick, they say they want evidence.
Evidence of what, exactly? I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method, but there is still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
A contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick of this magic case. Well, I don't remember Moe's testimony. It was like a half hour of dialogue. Obviously. We're not talking about the motive yet, so we don't bring up the note yet. Are we supposed to bring up Moe as his testimony? Like... Well, there you go. I don't understand. Still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account. His eyewitness account was that he was in bed, and like we proved like half this shit to be lying, so he was in bed, he heard a noise, and that's what prompted him to look out the window. That was the true part. And then he saw the thing flying up. That's all that there is. I don't understand. I don't understand what the contradiction would be. Like, he could have, yeah, from where it was, he could have seen it. Map is good. Unravel the trick. That doesn't just mean the note, does it? Nope.
What is the contradiction? Why is this case so hard now?
Having some issues. Unforced trauma to the back of the head. Time of death 10:15. Wooden box. Post a small but strong lock. Victim was hunched over it, you know? Found inside the wooden box. The bust again? Not the bust again. The hat. The problem is Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were 2 contradictions in Moe's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions.
You fool! Do you ever shut up?
Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of. Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction? The other contradiction?
Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick?
Shit, can we do it? I mean, I've basically been straggling on this case the whole time, so... Of course! I can explain all of it!
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Oh, well, yeah. Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust.
Yeah.
Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order! Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that?
Motive.
Here we go.
This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster.
Finally, we're getting to this. This is the part that I understand.
Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Acro's motive, It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingaling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess. It's too early to stop now. Let's keep it going. We're only 23 minutes in. Why do you save the game and then ask me if I want to save the game? I still don't understand this. I can't believe it! Acro! It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is! And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated?
Ahem. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
He did? Psst, psst. But I'm nothing but a little old... I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal. You're gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence?
Ah, Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. No, Detective. I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little?
We've got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, Detective? Well, if you insist.
Now about that evidence you mentioned, what is it?
Here you go.
Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
That's why this is all a secret.
Huh?
Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion.
Final plans?
Uh-huh. That reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me.
Oh, one more thing.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? For me?
It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy, so hurry up and drink it all before it spoils.
An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me?
Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
Aw, so the rest of the circus members are rallying around Max now that the truth is out. I'd like to continue Miss Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingaling.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Gulp. Okay, so do we have this thing? Okay, Bat's scarf. This is Bat's scarf. Stained with his blood in a small quantity. Oh, fuck! Pepper! That's it! So the lion sneezed and that's why he bit down. Oh, shit. But then who did that? I get it now. And that's why the box only had pepper in it. Because it was meant to be a message for the ringmaster. So did the ringmaster... If the ringmaster hated that his daughter was doing the whole lion head in the mouth thing, would he have gotten wind of, like, Regina and Bat's bet and then been like, oh, this is my chance. I can cause an accident and make it so that she never does that trick again. Seems a bit fucked up if you ask me. But then the question of it still remains of, like, is the ringmaster responsible for this? All that this proves is that Acro thinks that the ringmaster is responsible for this accident. Okay, well, you know, we can come to this at a later date, I guess. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Barry's Big Circus, Russell Barry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. We were little, we were abandoned by our parents. You keep saying we. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I.
What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro?
I was 8 years old and my brother was 4.
Your parents were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Berry Big Circus.
Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed.
He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
Ow! No crying in court. Let's keep going.
The witness may proceed with his testimony. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. Wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. We'll just press all of it, I guess.
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster?
He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
What about other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile.
What a beautiful story.
That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person?
I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult.
So then how long have you been a performer? You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age?
I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dingaling Berries. It's nearly a household name.
I've even heard of them in Germany.
Liar! The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus.
You are truly a remarkable young man.
The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony, or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow! Ow, 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 ow!
No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor.
Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
Now that I've come this far, there is no way I could answer no, I can't.
Oh, this is gonna be good. Very well, then please enlighten the court.
Well, okay. I wonder if we could pick from any number of things. Like, could we use the lion? Or could we use the note? Or could we use Bat's profile? Let's see, some evidence that proves Acro's motive. Let me just go over this one more time. This is why Acro killed the Ringmaster?
That is correct. I don't think the defense would mind confirming something for me. What exactly are we supposed to learn from this piece of evidence? God. It's the he wrote the note that said you're a murderer. Come look at the shit.
Fine, I'll do the lion.
Dude. What the hell's the matter?
Okay, let's do Bat's profile then.
What the fuck? What the hell are you talking about?
Oh, would we use the scarf at this point?
What?
Bust. Note. Pepper. Wooden box. Autopsy report. Leon didn't work. Circus map doesn't matter. Broken bottle wouldn't matter. Poster wouldn't matter. Papers wouldn't matter. Silk hat wouldn't matter. Crime photo wouldn't matter.
What the hell's the matter with this?
Pepper? Supposed to learn?
God.
Oh, you know, there was only like 5 specific pieces of evidence that proved this, but none of them were working for some reason. How is it not Leon? How is it not the scarf?
How is it not the note?
It could even be the pepper, but we're probably not supposed to get that far yet. Wouldn't be Regina, would it? Okay, it would not be Regina then.
Dude, what the hell?
I'm at a damn loss.
Wouldn't be the Ringmaster's papers.
I wouldn't have thought. Do we do his own profile that he's in a wheelchair?
What the hell? What is actually the problem here?
This is such garbage. I don't understand how it's not the lion.
Like, is this just a glitch? Am I glitching out right now?
Oh my god, I don't understand. I don't understand. Don't understand. wouldn't be that. Dude, I mean, the whole Max, you have to frame somebody. You frame somebody who's been hated. He's just a victim of opportunity. Or he's a patsy of opportunity, I guess. So, like, it wouldn't be like... He was upset that Max was getting a raise! Not the crime filter. Everybody saw me pick the lion, right? Like, you all saw that. Yeah. Just wanted to just refurbish that. Reinforce it. Just wanted to reinforce Bat's scarf. The Grand Prix photo. Everybody agrees with me that this is bullshit, right? Like, everybody notices that this is, in fact, absolute dog shit. Like, absolute garbage, like, complete and utter nonsense. We're gonna go through every single thing, and one of them's gonna work out. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Did that one, did that one, did that one. Did we do this one? I don't remember. Alright, it wasn't that one either. Who would have thought? Who would have possibly imagined that this completely irrelevant piece of shit wouldn't actually be a difference? It's not the map of the circus. Nope, it's sure not. It's not Money the Monkey. Nope. And it's not the lion. And it's not any of the evidence over here, because we already tried all this stuff. The autopsy report. No, it's sure not. This is stupid. This is like literally a glitch. Why isn't it Bat? Why isn't it any of these things? Is it my FA? No. And Max isn't the reason. As expected. We already tried Russell himself, and it doesn't do anything. Okay, let me play this out and see if, like, we're supposed to lose a penalty even though we're correct, which would be something stupid. Oh, before you hurry up and prove something. Drats, now I'm really gonna have to think about this. What do you mean, give up presenting things? I can't give up presenting things, but I presented everything. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the Ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What?! That's because Acro had no reason to kill the Ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Barry, Ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things. Acro. You didn't plan to kill the Ringmaster at all, did you? The Ringmaster wasn't your target that night. Oh, was he trying to kill Regina?
What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russellberry to begin with. What?
Order, order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face, twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court?
Oh! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Well, now do we do the note, or do we do... This is out! My evidence out! What are you doing? Out! There's 14 more where that came from.
Hold it right there. You can take your time with the other 14 later. But for now, let me see that evidence once again.
I'm so scared of what will happen, I can't even move to give him the evidence. Dude. Regina Barry? The note should have proven that also, because he put it in Regina's pocket on purpose. I just took like 3 points to the influence gauge that I totally did not deserve.
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that, it's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough. Mr. Wright, allow me to...
Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! Okay, we're saving some more. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Barry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof.
Present evidence that proves... Okay, this is Leon.
Alright, Mr. Wright.
At this point, the only thing that's important is evidence.
This better not be a bluff. You're not going to... Ow!
You're not going to fool me, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Those two are finishing each other's sentences now. Dude, what? Dude, this case is fucking garbage. Just in terms, like, narratively and plot-wise, it's good. But this is functionally stupid. That's so dumb. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.